The NBA game plan is out, and it's packed with 1,230 games happening between October 24th and April 12th. After taking some time to understand the plan and using the super helpful Positive Residual app, here's what's coming up over 7 months. Every team has a schedule with 80 games right now, but all these teams will get to 82 eventually, with a couple of games happening in early December. The details of those games will depend on how well the teams perform in the earlier matches. Who's going to be on TV the most? The Warriors are in the lead with 28 times, followed by the Lakers at 27, the Celtics and Suns at 25, and the Nuggets at 21. Just a reminder, this list only includes games on ABC, ESPN, and TNT, not NBA TV. 8 teams will only be on national TV once: the Wizards, Raptors, Trailblazers, Magic, Pacers, Rockets, Pistons, and Hornets. The Utah Jazz will have just 2 national games. I think the Pacers are a really good team, but they're not getting enough national attention. They've got players like Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Davis, plus new folks like Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin. The Cavaliers are also not getting much airtime with only 9 games. I expect the Cavaliers to improve this year. The New Orleans Pelicans are only on TV 6 times nationally. That's not a lot, especially if they're doing well. But I understand why the people in charge of broadcasting games might be unsure about Zion Williamson's health. Can't blame them. The Denver Nuggets have the easiest schedule based on how well their opponents did last year. The Utah Jazz are next, then the Celtics. It's worth mentioning that the differences between the easiest and hardest schedules are small because all teams play 82 games. Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs have the toughest schedule based on last year's results. The Houston Rockets are second, and surprisingly, the Kings are third, with the Lakers fourth. On average, teams play 14 back-to-back games this year. Last year, it was 13.3. Every team has at least 13 back-to-backs. Teams usually have 9 back-to-backs when they're on the road, but they also get some when they're playing at home. The league is doing better at giving teams a rest day before important nationally televised games. They're also making sure there are no back-to-back games during the new in-season tournaments. The Boston Celtics have the most games where they have more rest than their opponents, 16 times. The Orlando Magic have the most games where they have less rest than their opponents, followed by the Toronto Raptors and Sacramento Kings. Interesting fact: the Warriors start with 7 out of 9 games on the road and end with 9 out of 12 away from their home court. The Clippers might feel they got a raw deal from the schedule makers. They have to travel the most miles of any team, 50,670, way more than the second-place Nets, 47,066. Also, the Clippers have the most instances of playing 3 games in 4 nights, 25 times, while the Nuggets have the fewest, 16 times. Speaking of the Clippers, they're not getting the best game times because they're the 3rd team in their arena. They've got 10 early afternoon home games this season. The Lakers and the NHL's Kings get priority. Rivalry Week is happening from January 23rd to January 27th. It's when we'll see cool matchups like Knicks versus Nets, Lakers versus Clippers, and Heat versus Knicks. The Trailblazers are only on national TV once, and it's on February 27th when they play against Miami. This game would also be Damian Lillard's return to Portland if he ends up being traded, as people are talking about. There are no games on November 7th because it's Election Day. Also no games on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and April 8th. That's when the NCAA men's tournament finals are.